What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel, talking some college basketball bets ahead of Monday, January the 30th. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. If you're listening on podcast, please leave a rating and review over there too. That helps a ton. And as you can see on the screen, if you're watching on video, we are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, and they have a phenomenal limited time offer for you guys where you can bet $5 on any game, any team of your choosing, and you are going to be paid out $200 in free bets, regardless if that team wins or not. Now, you have to head to DraftKings Sportsbook or click the link in the video description below. Make your first deposit of at least $5. Then again, it's just a $5 wager on any team, whether it wins or loses, $200 in free bets into your account. The legal age for gambling in most states is 21. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we've got a short slate, but a good slate with a couple marquee matchups. Baylor plays Texas, Virginia plays Syracuse. We have Iowa State, Texas Tech on deck. And it's a tough betting slate, but we'll dive into it. The game I like the most tonight actually is Baylor taking on Texas, and I think there's a couple angles. The Baylor side stands out to me first and foremost. They're the road team, but I think there's a more talented team overall here. Baylor ranks 14th overall per KenPom. They're 9th in strength of schedule. Texas is 10th. They're 28th in strength of schedule. And it's an interesting spot matchup-wise. Baylor's 105 in effective height. Texas is 275, but we know Texas kind of rotates their bigs on and off the floor. And these teams are pretty close in terms of offensive efficiency, with Baylor holding a slight edge. Texas, the far better defensive team so far this year. But both of these teams kind of exploit what the other does poorly on defense. You have Texas, a team that's pretty strong scoring on the interior. They're 14th in two-point percentage. Baylor's been terrible at defending the interior all year. They're outside the top 200 in two-point defense. That is also the case when you isolate their most recent play. And conversely, Texas is a little better at defending the paint, but they do give up some threes. And Baylor, they're awesome at shooting threes. They shoot the 22nd most threes. They're 82nd overall in three-point percentage. The better shooting team on paper when it comes to three and rim rate. And if you don't know that statistic, shot quality in particular does a great job of measuring kind of the weight that each basket should take, the importance of each basket. And there's a priority towards baskets scored at the rim, and from three, they're worth more. Baylor's a little bit better than Texas at scoring those. So there's a lot of advantages both directions. And for that reason, I think you could maybe look over 147.5. The reason I haven't taken that is the under has been screaming since it opened. It was at 151. It's come down. I think at some point there's going to be some buyback to the over. I would look at like 146 for that number. The Baylor side to me also makes sense. We haven't seen a lot of line movement so far, and Texas took a little bit of money, so I'll be waiting to see if we don't get maybe a 4 with Baylor or something. I don't have a wager on this game right now. We'll likely take Baylor, but we will see. They just have too much shooting with Flagler and Cryer, both shooting over 40% and from three. And Keontae George around 35% too. Good shooting team. Texas only has Marcus Carr, who can shoot. From here, it's a really difficult slate to bet. We'll talk about some games, but I don't have any other specific bets for you. Wanted to bet South Dakota State. They're really hurt. Charlie Easley's supposedly out till February. They haven't had Alex Arians the last couple games. He's been out for personal reasons. A lot of injuries for that team, so that's a game I don't think we can bet. Iowa State, Texas Tech is really hard to bet as well because of the injuries. I do prefer the Iowa State side, but this team has just been absolutely pummeled when Caleb Grill has been out. He played through the back injury, back spasms, back tightness, whatever you want to call it, earlier last week, and then he sat out on Saturday. They got crushed. And Texas Tech is also really injured as well. They haven't had Pop Isaacs or Fardwaz Amack, which two really important pieces of that team. Isaacs is their main ball handler, and man, they are not good at ball handling without him. And Amack is really their only main post presence. At least they have some other players down there like Bacho and O'Banner, but Amack is the only one with true size. Now, you look at this team, Texas Tech, they're 299th in turnovers committed. And Iowa State is number 1 in the country at forcing turnovers. Now you've removed the starting point guard for Texas Tech. The ankle sprain looked bad. I'm not a doctor. He didn't warm up ahead of their last game. That says to me he's doubtful more than questionable or probable here, but we don't know for sure. If Isaacs plays, I definitely wouldn't want to be holding an Iowa State ticket. So this is one I may end up betting closer to tip-off with the Iowa State side in mind, but not one I plan on taking right now. And last one I've been debating taking and honestly probably will take is Virginia over Syracuse. This is kind of the perfect stylistic matchup, I think, to exploit Syracuse. Virginia right now is -5. You look how these teams stack up. Virginia's 13th in the country, 56th in strength of schedule. Syracuse 86th overall, 111th in strength of schedule. Both teams have been a little lucky per shot quality based on the shots they've taken on the floor. But it is really hard to be much worse than Syracuse in terms of shot selection. 3-point and rim rate, Virginia's 179th. Syracuse is 340th. This is like basically a bottom 20 team in terms of the shots they take on the floor. That's unbelievable to see. And Syracuse plays that zone. We know teams can shoot over the zone. A lot of times that's how they lose games. Unfortunately for them, Virginia's top 10 in three-point percentage. We could go through the list of players that are shooting well for Virginia. Kihei Clark, 39%. Armon Franklin, 41%. Reese Beekman, 45%. Isaac McNeely, 42%. Even Ben Vanderplas is shooting like 33%. That's not great, but you have 4 shooters right around the 40% mark, 3 above it for Virginia. That's going to cause a ton of problems for this Syracuse team. Not to mention on the other side, with Syracuse, you have 1 good three-point shooter. That's Girard, and the rest of this team is awful. Like Judah Mintz is one of the worst three-point shooters in the country. He's at 21% right now. And maybe we see some positive regression, but that's just not something you can have here. Syracuse likely does have some size advantages here, but again, that's not how this Virginia team plays anyway. And you always run the risk with like a Jesse Edwards of foul trouble, one of the most active foulers in the country, and not too much behind him with Benny Williams and Malik Brown, whatever you want to say here with this Virginia team. Plus, Virginia is awesome at defending the paint. 20th overall 2-point percentage. Syracuse, they're only 143 at scoring inside. So I don't even know if this is a drastic mismatch in favor of Syracuse. They are the taller team. They should have an advantage on the glass, but can they actually exploit that? Virginia has been great at defending this. So looking at Virginia -5, probably will end up taking it. Just want to see where the line moves a little bit. It was around 4.5 to begin, and Virginia has taken a half a point. So we will see. But that'll do it for us today with the Odd Shopper channel. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Subscribe. If you would like, you can follow me on Twitter. Always willing to chop up some ball there. And we'll be doing these every single day except Sunday. So check out future videos. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear it. Until next time, good luck.